Good evening, good morning, and good day, and thank you once again for choosing to spend a little bit of your time with me. In the news today, r/iamatotalpieceofshit makes its thrilling return. A total scumbag clickbaits the suicide of a beloved YouTuber, and I sit outside and record a video during the day for a very strange change. It's proof I'm not a vampire. Apologies for the background noise. Somebody is taking this opportunity to start mowing, of course. And there are planes, and this was just a terrible idea, I feel. Why have I done this? Oh well, we're cracking on. First in the news today, r/iamatotalpieceofshit has made its thrilling and exciting comeback. The head admin, somebody I believe who might be a brony based upon their username, says that they, after receiving lots of support and praise and loads of lovely comments, has decided to bring the subreddit back. Now, if you actually look at the thread, the AMA, where he discusses why he closed it, then I personally would not say that it was support that he was receiving. I think it's thanks to the massive amount of backlash he received and the fact that he didn't want his karma to remain in oblivion forever, and so he has returned the subreddit to its former glory. In heartbreaking and very serious news, not something I'm going to cover for very long here, as I don't particularly wish this news channel to become serious. A popular and beloved YouTuber by the name of Etika tragically took his life. This has just been a disgusting and upsetting and miserable series of affairs. He was recently admitted into hospital following what appeared to be some form of bipolar breakdown. He uploaded a suicide video to YouTube, a confession and a farewell. And none of these things were taken seriously. The community mocked him as a whole. Threads upon threads were made on subreddit, mocking and bullying the guy, saying he was just doing it for clicks, saying he was doing it for views, when in reality it now seems like he was undergoing a very severe and traumatic breakdown, was incredibly depressed and needed a lot of help and support.
Death means nothing. Why are you all so scared of death for? It means absolutely zero in the interim. Why do you think I made Trump president? We're about to get some fireworks real soon.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Etika is on the line here. This is what I'm asking. Was this a publicity stunt?
Oh, this is my world. You are everything you've done up until this point.
But the scariest thing about thinking that the world is a simulation and it's predestined and all that is then there's no reason to live. Why not?
Why do you fear death?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's scary because if you really think about it, then why live? Just jump off a cliff. If it's just a simulation, who cares? Then why live? Just jump off a cliff. Then why live? Just jump off a cliff. Then why live? Just jump off a cliff.
Daniel Keem, also known as Keemstar, has set up a GoFundMe out of a pretty obvious sense of guilt for mocking and bullying the poor guy on a number of times. The GoFundMe is raising funds to go towards Etika's family. The link will be in the description. Now returning to news of people being absolute pieces of shit. In r/iamatotalpieceofshit, there had been posts in the past calling out Etika for being a piece of shit, claiming that he was using suicide in his videos for attention and views. As a way to save face upon reopening, the subreddit mods decided to ban all posts regarding Etika. So let's have a look on what is hot on r/iamatotalpieceofshit right now and see how well they are living up to their new rules. Remember, they have a job to do. They have an image to uphold now that they are back. They need to be good moderators. What a complete fucktard using his name for clicks. This piece of shit monetizing Etika's death. Oh, hey boy. Dente.
Lay down. Lay down. Stay.
Etika fans are losers. Fuck yo dead homie. Clickbaiting a man's suicide. How fucking scummy. This fucking piece of shit who uses a young man's death for views and asks for donations, using him not even a day after his death. What has social media done to some of us? It's sad that I've never heard of him until now. This is my big regret. I shouldn't celebrate on a post like this, but I am. Thanks for the likes. This guy clickbaiting a YouTuber's death not even a day after. This piece of shit exploiting a beloved streamer's death for his own financial gain. This cunt actually makes me sick. Profiting off of the death of a person. Disgusting. So as we can see, the moderators aren't doing very well at keeping Etika posts off of the subreddit. Now obviously, seeing all of this, I had to look at the video in question. I recognised this YouTuber having recently seen both Leon Lush and Jack's Films cover this piece of shit. He is known as J Station. He gained some notoriety for making a video after the death of beloved singer-songwriter Mac Miller. Using Mac Miller's name in his video for clicks, he made a video where he stayed up at 3 AM to use a Ouija board to summon and talk to the spirit of Mac Miller and a whole load of other disgusting sort of bollocks like that. This guy is Scum. So I needed to watch this video. I made sure to actually download the video instead of watching it on YouTube so as to avoid watching any adverts and not give this piece of shit any ad revenue. Upon watching the video, I was a bit surprised. Yes, he had used the title of the video as pure clickbait. However, he didn't do that in the video. No, it was just clickbait. It was a clickbait thumbnail and a clickbait title to get people to watch this video. And then he actually uses this video to call out some other YouTubers who haven't necessarily acted in the best way during this whole ordeal. And he has got ads on the video monetizing it, but he professes and claims that he will be using this money from the ad revenue to donate to the Etika GoFundMe. He also leaves a link towards the Etika GoFundMe, and he claims to have donated £2,500 to a suicide prevention charity. Now, all of these are very bold claims, and he is certainly calling out other YouTubers in this that might not necessarily deserve it, such as Philip DeFranco, claiming that Philip DeFranco is clickbaiting using Etika, which is entirely bullshit. Philip DeFranco does daily news. He's going to cover something like this. I do agree about his point, though, on leaving this sort of thing monetized and using the ad revenue to go towards either a suicide prevention helpline or Etika's family. Other YouTubers have done this. Clean Prince Gaming, another gaming YouTuber who had actually had interactions with Etika in the past, fully advertised upon his video, but claims to be donating all the money towards suicide prevention charities. And these sorts of actions are pretty good and not shitty. So looking at the majority of the comments on this guy's video, most people saw the thumbnail, saw the title, went on it, disliked it, and didn't watch a single part of it. Because had they, I don't know, they might have changed their opinion on him slightly. I'm still going to leave this one up in the air. I still think he is probably a piece of shit. And if there is no proof, if we don't see the receipts as to what happens with this money, if there is no proof of him donating this money, then it's probably just a lie for views and positive karma, and probably to get people to stop beating him up, because it certainly looks like somebody jumped and attacked him recently. I feel like this is turning into a suicide special, this episode. Piece of shit kills herself and her 5-year-old son by jumping into a river. Mum treated son to a Happy Meal before tying hands to hers and jumping in a reservoir. Now, I feel really divided by this. I don't think this poor woman was a piece of shit. I think she was clearly struggling with something, was very unwell. And I think it's kind of horrible for people to be calling her so. Taking the life of her child was an awful, 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 awful thing to do, and certainly a shitty thing to do. But we shouldn't really be judging and casting aspersions on those who have just taken their own lives. They are obviously going through something that we cannot ever begin to fathom. I don't understand how selfish people can be. Killing yourself would have damaged her son severely, but murdering an innocent child's life, taking away his future, he could have lived a happy life. Total piece of shit. If you read the article, the mum was struck by these fears and these doubts and these torments. She had recently broken up with her partner, and she just worried that her child wouldn't be able to have any kind of happy life without her and would drift away into all sorts of horrible, nasty things. Mental illness can be extremely fucked up, yet it will still get swept under the rug until something like this happens. And yeah, you just need to look at the article. She had suffered 3 miscarriages and had a traumatic breakdown with the boy's father. She was depressed. And lastly, a truly traditional, incredibly classy piece of shit. This piece of shit made her boyfriend cry by faking her suicide. This could be fake, but by the way her boyfriend reacted, I highly doubt that. Prank gone wrong. He cried. You faked your own suicide. You disgusting, nasty, pathetic little piece of shit. Thank you so much for joining me and choosing to spend a little bit more of your time with me today. I hope you enjoyed looking at these pieces of shit. I know I certainly didn't today. Leave a comment, leave a like, leave a subscribe, do all the usual things. You know I'll reply to you. It's a lot of fun chatting to you guys. Peace.
But the scariest thing about thinking that the world is a simulation and it's predestined and all that is then there's no reason to live. Why not?
Why do you fear death?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's scary because if you really think about it, then why live? Just jump off a cliff. If it's just a simulation, who cares? Then why live? Just jump off a cliff. Then why live? Just jump off a cliff. Then why live? Just jump off a cliff.